provide a comprehensive account of all support, including government bailouts and loans from Export-Import Bank of the United States of America, extended to Kenya Airways over the last 10 years, highlighting the respective amounts received and the purposes for which the support was extended. Number C, Mr. Speaker, sir, which foreign consultancy firms have been engaged by the KQ in the last 10 years to revitalize the airline, and could the Cabinet Secretary indicate the respective amounts paid to each, as well as provide an overview of the recommendations made by the firms, Mr. Speaker, sir. Finally, D, what was the rationale behind the decision of KQ to ground Boeing 787-8 Dreamliner, registered as 5Y KZJ, another Boeing 737-700, registered as 5Y KQH, KQH and KQG, that is 787-8, and could the Cabinet Secretary also explain why the option of converting this aircraft to cargo planes was not pursued, and identify the authority that approved the removal of parts from this aircraft? I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond.
By way of introduction, Mr. Speaker, I hope this is the last time I'll answer questions about Kenya Airways, because it's our intention to return Kenya Airways to a private company so that the government of Kenya cannot continue subsidizing Kenya Airways, and therefore the public do not have a stake for us to come and answer questions about private companies in Parliament. So our effort in the Manifesto of Kenya Kwanza to make sure that we offload all the shares that the government owns in the Kenya Airways, so that we return it to a profitable private company that will not require the subsidies that we have had to subsidize, and converted if we convert the debt that they owe to the government of Kenya into equity, it increases their shareholding. So hopefully our manifesto objectives of getting a strategic investor will make it the last time we are discussing Kenya Airways. Mr. Speaker, as captured in the table below, and I'm sure the Honourable Senator has an answer, the submitted statement in good time. As captured in the table below, the Ministry through Kenya Airways reported an operating profit in the first half of financial year 2023, a milestone that it hadn't reached in the previous 6 years. The airline has made a significant 120% improvement, reporting an operating profit of 998 million compared to the same period in the previous year, where there was a reported loss of 5 billion. The table number 10 will explain. The growth was fueled by the 56% increase in group revenue, reaching an impressive 75 billion. Additionally, our passenger numbers surged 2.3 million, an impressive 43% growth from 1.6 million. And our earnings before interest, tax and depreciation and amortization and rent costs witnessed a commendable upswing of 7 points. Our gross profit improved by an impressive 131%, resulting in these commendable outcomes. We acknowledge that our legacy debt did bring down the impressive operating results, primarily to the huge forex losses because of the depreciation of the Kenya shillings against the dollar. These forex losses were primarily due to the re-evaluation of the US dollar denomination loans and liabilities. These finance charges in total amount of 22 billion, and therefore heavily impacted our overall results. Mr. Speaker, the airline industry is highly competitive, and therefore profit margins in the industry are thin. According to the International Airport Transport Association, IATA, the average net profit margin for the global airline industry is typically less than 5%. An overview of airline profitability compared to other industries is captured below. Vulnerability to external factors. Airlines are highly vulnerable to external factors that can impact the profitability, including fluctuations in fuel prices, currency devaluations, supply chain challenges, and geopolitical events. Capital intensity. Airlines require significant capital investment in aircraft maintenance and infrastructure, which can limit their profitability. This unlike other businesses that do not have the same level of capital intensity. Cynicality, the airline industry is cynical and can be sensitive to economic cycles. During economic downturns, demand for air travel may decline, affecting airline profitability. Regulation. Airlines are subject to extensive regulation, including safety and security requirements, which can add operational costs. Competition. The airline industry is highly competitive, with many players operating in the market. Competition can lead to price wars and reduced profit margins. Operational challenges. Airlines face operational challenges, including maintenance, scheduling, and workforce management, which can impact cost and profitability. Pricing strategy. Airlines often use dynamic pricing strategy that can affect their profit margins. Prices for air tickets can vary widely based on factors like demand, time of booking, and seat class. In summary, Honorable Speaker, while airlines provide essential transportation services, their profit margins are typically lower compared to many other industries, and their profitability is subject to a range of external factors and competitive pressure. Mr. Speaker, operational support in
Honorable
Project Safari.
just pause a bit. What is your intervention, Senator Nandi?
Mr. Speaker, since I have the answer and I've gone through it, to assist the House to move fast. Okay. If members want to...
The response has been circulated to honorable senators.
Yes, that is what I wanted, to assist the House to move fast, Mr. Speaker, sir. Would it be in order I ask my 2 supplementary questions, because so that we make progress as a House? Would that be better?
You will proceed to ask question number 12, number 13, and thereafter you will...
So I asked the 4 supplementary questions.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mr. Speaker, since you have given guidance, so let me
just say, Mr. Speaker, for the record, I think it's important for the Hansard. You just say that in terms of the farms contracted, I just read the farms. I don't need to read what they do. Okay. Mackenzie was contracted in 2015. If
you can paraphrase...
I don't need to paraphrase the rest, Mr. Speaker. I just read the names.
Great.
Proceed, the farms contracted are 3. Mr. Speaker, for 2015 to 2016 is Mackenzie. For 2016, PJT Partners. And 2020, Seabury. I think that is all I can say, Mr. Speaker. Thank you. No. Mr. Speaker, there is an important answer, if I may, with your permission, that I'm sure even the public will be very happy to know. That's the last only 1 paragraph that is related to the grounded airlines.
Senator Sifuna, what is your intervention? Certainly, it cannot be a point.
Mr. Speaker, you know the CS insisted on giving us the name of the contractors, but my document says McKinsey. Yes, it says McKinsey here, Mr. Speaker, on the document. He has told us Mackenzie. I don't know if they are the same.
Honorable CS, can you clarify that?
Mr. Speaker, let me just refer back to the document. Yes, correct, it's McKinsey. Thank you, it's McKinsey. Because there is another firm called McKinsey, so that's where No, not the person. There's a firm called McKinsey. Mr. Speaker, let me just... Mr. Speaker, I just want to read this statement regarding, there have been public debate about a plane that we donated, so it's important to read it for the record. KQ has not grounded any aircraft, 5YKZJ, which is as Boeing 787 Dreamliner. Took some time undergoing heavy maintenance because of unavailability of many essential and critical components parts in the aircraft market. These shortages are well published in the industry. 5YKQG and 5YKQH are or were 2 Boeing B737-700 aircraft in the KQ fleet under the operating lease arrangement. Upon the end of the lease, the lessors, owners of the aircraft, decommissioned the aircraft. Mr. Speaker, it's important for those who may be new to the industry, is that when some of the planes that are owned or run by airlines are not necessarily owned by the airlines. They are under operating lease. And Mr. Speaker, upon the end of the lease, the lessors themselves decommissioned the aircraft, salvaged valuable components from the two aircraft, removed what they thought is important, and transferred what was remained of the aircraft to KQ at zero cost. All these were procedurally approved by KQ Board of Directors. The estimate value of these two decommissioned aircraft is nothing more than their scrap value. Mr. Speaker, I was in the donation. I was invited to participate in the donation as a chief guest. The students were extremely excited. Mr. Speaker, this was nothing except for scrap value. And if you go to Kitengela, you will find somebody running a restaurant there called 034, with a plane being the restaurant. Mr. Speaker, it doesn't mean that that's a plane which should have been flying cargo. So I think it's also important to make this abundantly clear to the public, because a statement was issued by a member of parliament in the past to say that we were donating a plane that would have brought billions of dollars. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator for Nandi, proceed to ask question number 12.
Mr. Speaker, I proceed with my supplementary?
No.
Okay.
Question number 12.
Question number 12. Mr. Speaker, sir, question number 012. Question 1. When will the ongoing project for the expansion of Cherargei airstrip in Kericho County be completed? Number 2, Mr. Speaker, what is the total budgetary allocation for the project, and could the Cabinet Secretary provide a detailed breakdown of the expenditures incurred so far? And number C, could the Cabinet Secretary provide a detailed assessment of the quality of the works for the project, stating what the government is doing to hold accountable the contractor and any other individuals responsible for any identified lapses? I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond. Question number 12.
Mr. Speaker, this is a more straightforward answer, so I'll just read the answers. Mr. Speaker, the request to undertake the refurbishment of Cherargei airstrip emanated from the National Celebrations Technical Committee during their visit to Kericho on 15th of June 2023 to assess the status of the facility in the county in readiness for the Mashujaa Day following the presidential directive to hold the celebrations in Kericho. Refurbishment of the airstrip involved upgrading the runway to Maram standards and construction of an open steel frame shade to facilitate movement of guests during the celebrations. The works were successfully completed on 18th of October 2023, 2 days before 18th of October 2023. Mr. Speaker, the project total cost to date is 55.4 million shillings, for which 45.4 million is for the clearing, stripping, and grading for the runway, as well as related drainage works, including the construction of an aircraft holding 100 meters by 50 meters apron, and Kenya shillings 10 million for the building of an open steel frame shade. Honorable Speaker, no lapses were experienced during the execution of this project. The work was completed in compliance with the bill of quantities, specifications, and the drawings. The project manager's successive approval were done up until the completion of the works. The ministry is negotiating with the landowners to sell land to Kenya Airports Authority for development of the airstrip. Though the ministry has challenges with the land ownership of the moment, the project will be completed once the land is acquired. The minister has also had full consultation with the leaders of Kericho on this very important matter. Mr. Speaker, just for emphasis, this Cherargei airstrip land is owned by Eketera, the owners of the T estate. And so even when we developed it, it was in the understanding that we will have to engage them to complete the works. We worked with the Kenya Defense Forces, who are the contracted, they were actually the contractors to construct the runway to Maram standard, and as you saw, it was useful for the celebrations. Going forward, we intend to acquire at least 50 to, if possible, 100 acres of that land so that we do a proper airport that will enable agricultural farmers there and people traveling to Kericho and its environs to be able to land in that place and take off from that Kericho. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Nandi, proceed to ask question number 13.
Mr. Speaker, sir, question number 013, question 1, could the Cabinet Secretary provide a status update on all projects from the construction and upgrade of roads undertaken by national government in Nandi County since 2013, explaining any discrepancies between the contractual and actual dates of completion? But B, Mr. Speaker, what are the reasons for the delay in resuming construction of Kaiboi, Chepterwai, Kapkatembu, Chomisha, Chemuswa, Chomisia, Danger Road, Timboroa, Maraba, Kopere Road, Mugundoi, Nandi Hills Road, Nandi Hills, Simaki Road, Lesos, Keses, Cheptiret, and Cheptiret to Lone Moi University roads in Nandi County, which have stalled? And could the Cabinet Secretary also outline steps taken by the government to expedite the resumption and completion of these projects, Mr. Speaker, sir? I thank you.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to respond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm glad that I'm responding to this question, having given a global picture of the roads in the country. So already I had shared with you the situation in the country, thanks to the question from the Deputy Speaker. So I'll just go straight to the answer. I wish to state that 183 kilometers of roads have been upgraded to bitumen standard, with 2 major bridges constructed to completion in Nandi County since 2013, undertaken by Kenya Rural Roads Authority. Details of the projects are detailed in the annex. Concerning discrepancy between the contractual and actual dates of completion, I wish to state that the Ministry has faced financial challenges in the funding, as I earlier indicated, due to inadequate allocation and disbursement from the National Treasury over the years. This has culminated in the accumulation of significant pending bills from certified works. Contractors have consequently been reluctant to complete the works in the affected project, citing non-payment of their dues. The government, through the National Treasury, is working on the mechanism to facilitate significant reduction of our clearing of pending bills in the near future. This will result in the full resumption of completion of affected projects countrywide. Roads under the jurisdiction of Kenya in Nandi County have been managed through performance-based maintenance contracts and routine maintenance contracts, depending on the planned intervention and available resources. The agency is currently managing 10 ongoing maintenance contracts in the county. 9 of the maintenance projects are administered by the Western Region Office, situated in Kakamega. 1 project is administered in the North Rift Regional Office. That's the routine maintenance and support improvement of JN A8 Eldoret Kapsabe Road, which is commenced on 8th March 2024 and is scheduled to end on 4th September 2024 with a contract sum of 38,218,314. The road is 40 kilometers long, but only 22 of it's in Nandi County, i.e. from the Mlango to Chebarbara. Lastly, the roads done under the jurisdiction of the Kenya Urban Roads are indicated in the table below. Mr. Speaker, just for the comfort of the other senators who may not have asked a similar question, this is what I told you earlier, that in the entire country, about 60 billion shillings is spending in Kera roads, from Mombasa to Malaba, from Lokichokio to Loitoktok. All of them suffer this kind of consequences, Mr. Speaker. That's why I told you I had to read the global statement so that even those who will ask follow-up questions appreciate that the circumstance under which we are operating is a very poor budgetary allocation. Mr. Speaker, the last part is the Mugundoi Nandi Hills Road was proposed for upgrading to bitumen standards though we have been maintaining the road to achieve motorability utilizing 22% of the fuel levy funds. I acknowledge the completion of the Timboroa Mateitei, Seko, Kopere Road have faced significant delays due to contractual challenges caused by inadequate budget allocation. The contractor achieved 47 kilometers of tarmac, but was unable to complete the total contract at 94 kilometers of roads despite numerous interventions. Consequently, the ministry, in consultation with the Office of the Attorney General, mutually terminated the contract on 28th of August 2023. This paved way for the retendering of the remainder of the works advertised on 27 October 2023. To enable timely delivery, the works were split into 2 lots, repackaged and retendered. The contract was awarded on 14th March 2024 and are expected to be signed in 28 days, as I said earlier. Contractor will be required to mobilize and commence immediately. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.